how you start low.
Mm-hmm.
My son-in-law is a basketball coach, and he was at Campbell when this happened,
Mm-hmm.
Campbell University.
Mm-hmm.
And they qualified because they won their conference to go to the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were the lowest, they had to play Duke.
Yeah. That's a good
It was when Duke was really up there,
yeah.
you know, and.
But they made it.
They made it, and
Right.
that's what my son-in-law tried to tell them, you know, they went
Right.
and they had fun.
Right. Well, again, it's not a fair fight. I mean,
No, it
Krzyzewski,
wasn't.
right? Krzyzewski and those guys, they get all the best players. All right, you get the best players and let them have the others, see what happens.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, but he built that up. I'm not mad at him. In fact, that's one of the guys I model myself after. I like his hard edge. You know, he's from West Point. You know, he's more of a life lesson kind of guy. You know, I love that about him. And, you know, he's just a great guy. But he does get the best players.
Yeah.
You know, every year he's spitting them out like, you know, like it's water. I mean, it's like, so, you know, but the point was, your son-in-law?
Son-in-law.
Your son-in-law, they had to win their conference, right?
Yeah, they
Which,
did.
so again, so with competition on par with him, they won. So now you go from this point here to a team that's practically getting pros
Yeah.
that you got to play against.
Yeah.
So that in itself is a wonderful thing. And you know, that's one of the things that we tell our players all the time. I mean, how many times have we been outmanned, Gene? And we go in there and we fight. See, I'm getting a little emotional now. Right? We go in there and we fight. And the honor is to fight. The honor is to fight and don't give up. In fact, we gave a quote yesterday in one of my camps, and the quote was, bravery isn't the absence of fear, but the action in the face of fear. Right? It's the action. Right? So we fight. And my guys know. They have to fight. They know if you don't fight, how can I say this diplomatically? There's going to be some consequences in practice. Because it's a life lesson, right? I mean, you have to stand up to whatever your fears are, because if you run from them, you'll run from them in life, and it won't be on the court, it'll be in the work, and somebody bullies you at the job, and somebody gets a position, or someone gets a raise. You have to stand up for yourself. I'll tell you a funny story. I don't know if you was at this game, Gene. We had a game against this team called Pace Academy. Now, I don't know if you know the story with Pace Academy. Bottom line is they have a lot of kids, you know, that's somewhat controversial. You know, I just put it that way. You know, they do what they do, right? Good kids, mean well, but they're a little rough around the edges. You know, tough, you know, got that street element going on. So my guy's not from that kind of, you know, environment. So the game about to start, and my guys getting a little intimidated. They shaking in their boots. I asked a couple of them, did they have to go to the bathroom or something? I didn't know what was going on. Right? So game starts. They just running through us. We're down 12-2, like 3 minutes in the game. I call timeout. I'm looking at them like this. They walking over to the bench, I'm like this. So I told them, man, you guys are not fighting hard enough. Look like you guys are a little scared. This is the cleaned up version. You guys are playing a little scared. Okay, you're a little scared. So let me tell you where we at now. Now let me tell you where we at. You got exactly 2 minutes to have a complete turnaround in terms of your effort. And if you don't turn this thing around with your effort within 2 minutes, I'm benching all of you. I'm gonna put the freshmen in. Put somebody in who want to fight, who want to play. I'm gonna put somebody in there who know the game started. The game started 3 minutes ago. So we put the guys back out there, right? They fight now because they look at the bench worried about what I'm gonna do. So the game goes on. I probably shouldn't tell you this part. It gets a little physical. I'm starting to smile. Okay, here we go. Right? Because, you know, when you have to deal with the bully, they ain't going to like when you first stand up to him, right? So all of a sudden, Osmond, you know Osmond, right? The one is one of my more controversial kids. Great kid, love him to death. You know, he gets into a little scuffle. You know, not a scuffle, pushing, man, a little push. You know, they little kitty cat pushes. Not too big. The ref starts, the whistle blows the whistle. The ref said, Coach, I was eating out of hand. They break it up. One team go over here, the other team go over here. They call the coaches over. They said, Coach, you can get this under control. I said, we deal with it, no problem. So he said, go talk to your players, make sure everything's good. So I went over to talk to my players. I went over to Osmond. I said, Osmond, moving up the food chain, buddy. Keep up the good work. That's going to keep up the good work. And kept it moving. But after the game was over, man, all the teams hugged and kissed because it was that respect now. Because we fought them back. They wasn't clowning us then. Right? They were like, man, these guys fought back. And that's the lesson. You stood up for yourself. Now all of a sudden they're not, hey man, the good guy, man, how you doing, man? We need to get together, play sometime. We in Chapel Hill, you're in Chapel Hill, man, me and my man. Here's my number, here's my Facebook handle. They want to be chummy now. But if they didn't stand up, they'd have been laughing at them, clowning them. So now you gotta stand up for yourself a little bit. Right? That's why the fight is everything to me. You know, in fact, I tell the kids all the time, if you get knocked down, get up. You get knocked down, get up. You get knocked down, get up. You get knocked down again, start feeling proud of yourself because you keep getting up regardless of the circumstance. It's a badge of honor to keep getting back up. That's what I believe in. Good question. Any more questions?
I don't think people really realize what an effect a good coach has on people. I really admire you, and I admire my son-in-law. He's been at App State and Elon and different places.
Mm-hmm.
And he just loves his players. He's not coaching now, but
Mm-hmm.
he did. And the effect he had on those players and the little bit of extra time he gave to them, and some of them couldn't go home, so he went and bought them fried chicken. I mean, just those little things mean so much to the players, and I see you're experiencing that same thing. You want to give them that extra little hug sometimes.
Oh yeah, I love it, man. I mean, we all. I mean, all of us. I mean, Gene is a super volunteer. He's on the board. I mean, how long you been volunteering, Gene?
Since Michael got in, back when Woods Charter School was still over at Cole Park
10
Plaza.
years. 10, 12 years.
Wow.
I mean, you do it because you just love to do it. You want to have an impact on kids. He comes to games. He's a photographer, by the way. He comes to games. His kid's not even there. He takes pictures. He posts them on Facebook. Posts them on the paper, online. He's been doing this for years on the board. I see him in Northwood games. I see him in NC State games.
Anyway, getting back to the book.
Okay. Yeah.
Parents got a lot of time for games.
Yeah. So that's what it's about, guys. I strongly encourage you to consider picking a book up from here at McIntyre. Let them know that the local community supports it, because I am a local author. I live literally 5 minutes from this exact location. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come here as well. Pick it up, I'll sign it for you, take pictures. But I thoroughly appreciate you guys being out here. It means the world to me. And if you see anything you like in it, please just spread the good word for us, okay? I appreciate you.